Yo, what's up, everybody, man? It's your boy D-Nell YG, man, and I am back with the motherfucking NCAA basketball stream of the evening. You're actually gonna get this one, which is a Selection Sunday show, and then you're gonna get one more stream after this, which is the first round game of the NCAA tournament. I was gonna give you two, but I'm gonna only give you one tonight. Why? Because earlier I was supposed to start the Selection Sunday show, but man, my motherfucker sugar got low, nigga. I mean, this motherfucker eyeball shifted to the side like a mummy and some more shit. Like, I couldn't, like, hyperglycemic is a bitch, nigga. That's all I'm gonna say. But this is the I want to welcome you all to the NCAA Selection Sunday show, right? Good weed, good dog. Okay, but I would like to welcome you all to the Selection Sunday show, and here is where we find out who's on the bubble. Well, let me say it like this: here is where we find out who's in, who's out, who's on the bubble, who know that they out of the shit looking in. But before we go into that, we went 32-1 on the regular. Well, actually, we went 29-1 on the regular season. We went undefeated in our conference tournament, and also with that we won our conference tournament. So now we're here sitting. We know we're not going to get a number one seed. We know that for sure. But we're sitting back watching to see what fucking seed we get. You know what I'm saying? I know it's going to be a high seed, but if not, it's all good because we're going to work our way through the tournament like we did last year. But keep on note that Khalil Ball would not be. What the hell? This nigga scared me like a big ass rat running by my leg. He wants some more than trees. But keep in mind that Khalil Ball will not be playing in this NCAA tournament because he broke his foot. But his little brother, Jaleel Ball, has stepped in, and he has stepped it up dramatically and amazingly. And Cameron Mitchell, he has stepped up. Royale Walker, he has stepped up. Even Terrell Wilson, who plays the small forward position, has stepped up. Even when I put him at power forward to help out Jaleel Ball versus stamina, because Jaleel, he doesn't really have the stamina like that and all, but once we get his conditioning and everything right, let me tell you, excuse me, he's going to be a dynamic player, and trust me. But not to hold you all too long, but let's get into this NCAA Selection Sunday show.
The committee will reveal the teams and seeding for this year's tournament in a few moments.
Yeah. So, welcome once again to NCAA Selection Sunday show. I know I'm giving it to you on a Tuesday, but virtually, where the NCAA basketball 10 game is, it's on the Sunday. So, I would like to welcome all you ladies and gentlemen to this show to find out who's in, who's out, who's on the bubble trying to get in. Excuse me. God damn. So, let's go with this.
As the selections are coming in, Bill, which schools are still on the bubble?
All of these schools are on the bubble, Gus. They each had great seasons, but as we all know, the committee must get down to 64 schools and a playing game. It's not going to be easy.
You right about that, Vern Lundquist. Now, as we look at the teams on the bubble, you have Arkansas, which is at 20-11. Oklahoma, they're at 18-14. Texas Tech at 18-13. Auburn 16-15. South Carolina comes in at 18-12. Wake Forest 18-13. Western Kentucky 24-8. St. John's 17-13. Marshall 19-12. Arizona State 17-4. Now, let's take a look at these bubble teams. First, let's take a look at Arkansas, Western Kentucky, and Marshall. Now, Arkansas has 20 wins on the season, but 11 losses. Then the thing is, there's only 18 conference games. So, did you win 18 conference games? Did you win 18 conference games and lose all your non-conference games, or did you win all your non-conference games and lose well, not all your non-conference games, but did you win most your non-conference games but lose most your conference games? Because you're 20-11. That's a big factor for RPI, NCAA tournament resume. Same thing with Western Kentucky, 24-8. Like I said, there's only 18 conference games. So for me, I think that Western Kentucky, they're gonna sneak in a tournament, and everybody, I think either Western Kentucky and Arkansas are the only two teams that'll sneak in the tournament, and everybody else is out. Yeah, Marshall is sitting out there at 19-12 with the third best record up here of the on-bubble teams, but like I said, once again, how many of those 19 wins were conference, and how many of those 19 wins, 12 losses were non-conference? See, the thing about that is, in the NCAA tournament, they frown and they look. They look on how many wins you got for your conference, but how many non-conference wins you also got. Because if I put you in this NCAA, just take Marshall for example. If I put you in this NCAA tournament at 19 wins, but at 19 wins, you know what I'm saying? And because 19 of those wins were from non-conference. Okay, that's good. So at least I know you can probably make a stomp through the tournament. But what about those 12 losses you have behind you? Because you can't even beat nobody in your conference. So what makes you think I should trust you going into playing a non-conference team in the NCAA tournament, which you might lose because you had a hell of a losing streak on the back end of the season or wherever you had it at. But like I said, I think Western Kentucky and Arkansas, they're going to sneak in. Oklahoma, big house, powerhouse team. Auburn, okay. Wake Forest, they should have got in, but I think Wake Forest, Texas Tech, and Marshall are going to step into the NIT. Arizona State, I don't think, because like 14 losses in the Pac-10, how many of those losses are in the Pac-10 conference? So that's what they frown upon, and that's what they look upon. But let's go to the next part of the show, y'all.
Here are this year's top seeds in the tournament.
Because these schools are the big boys, this year's finest. It will be interesting to see which, if any, will be in the NCAA final.
Okay, now, as you look, good. I don't know if you want to take a look at this, but if you want to look, these top seeds are the same as last year, except Louisville is in the South region where North Carolina was. Now, I went 32-1 on my season. Didn't get a top seed. Won my conference championship, but didn't get a top seed. And that's a heartbreaker. It is, but if you want to look and be cordial and be real with it, the top team in the West, Midwest region, and the East region, I knocked them all off. I knocked Villanova off in the Sweet 16. I knocked Kentucky off in the Final Four. And then I knocked Kansas off in the NCAA championship. So, my question is, will there be a rematch for the NCAA championship? Kansas versus VCU. That was the game last year. Big heartbreaking loss. Big blowout on a big stage, on the biggest stage of them all in college basketball and college sports. But the tables have turned. Why? Because Kansas still have their juniors from last year, and they stacked more on the offense. They only lost 2 games versus us losing 1 game. You feel me? Villanova 27-5. They might not make it out of the Midwest region, because Midwest region is one of the hardest regions. And if they put us back in the Midwest region, they will have to face us again, and it'll be an NCAA tournament rematch. And I know the fans are wanting that. I know the NCAA committee, they wanting that. Because why? They wouldn't have seeded these teams like this. Trust me, I'm telling you, as we go on into this show, you're going to see why the NCAA committee has seeded these teams like that. Kentucky, 29-3. Louisville, 28-4. Now, I would like to be honest with you, I would like to have the rematch of VCU and Kansas in the national championship. But to be honest with you, I want to see VCU and Louisville in the national championship. That's going to be a hell of a game. Why? Because it's nothing but defense there. Even though they got 4 losses, it don't matter. All 4 of those losses came by very small margins. Why? Because they put up the defense, but they just couldn't get that last streak of offense in there to win. So that's, you know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of fans really want to see that matchup too. So Kansas and VCU, or VCU and Louisville. That's my pick for the national championship. And this is another thing too. Everybody, get your brackets out. Fill your brackets out, because I'm telling you, you don't watch this shit, bro. If you get your national championship winner, or at least the match right, the national championship match right, I cash out you $20 for just getting the match right. But if you get the winner right, you get an extra $5 in cash app, and that's my word. But let's go to the next region. Fill your brackets out, people. Fill your brackets out. $25 to be given. Fill your brackets out.
Remember, 30 teams get automatic bids. The committee only has to select 34 at-large schools.
However, they have to seed all 64 teams and give balance to each of the 4 brackets. That's where the challenge is, Gus.
Okay, so the NCAA committee is ready, and their brackets has been shot out. Now, 1 and 6. This is the West region. 1 and 6. Kansas versus you know what? I ain't about to do the matchups, because I don't know what's MSU for real. Could be Michigan State. Could be Murray State. You know what I'm saying? Could be Morehead State. You don't know which one. But Kansas versus MSU. Kansas State versus DePaul. Illinois versus North Carolina Greensboro. I don't know if that's alright. You know what I'm saying? But you got a lot of good teams here in the West bracket. And the matchup, I'm really looking forward to seeing who's going to come out on top. Excuse me. It's Duke and Michigan. That's the only... I see Duke and Kansas being in the NCAA Final Four. One of the 2 teams in the NCAA Final Four. Why? Illinois came through and got mocked last year. Michigan is at number 10, so Duke and MU, don't know who that is, but you never know. Let me go on. Texas, they got beat last year. I beat them in the Elite 8. Yeah, I beat them in the Elite 8 to go into the Final Four to play Kentucky, but they facing Northern Illinois University. Them boys can give you some stomp and some go. But let's move on to the next bracket.
Gus, this is a really tough bracket. The team who makes it out of this bracket may not have enough fuel in the tank to compete in the Final Four.
Ladies and gentlemen, now pay attention. Look at the number 1 seed and the number 3 seed. The number 1 seed is Villanova. The number 3 seed is who? None other than us, Virginia Commonwealth University. We got the number 3 seed, and we're playing against Lipscomb. And Villanova is playing against Long Beach State University. Now, what I told you, this is going to be a matchup, man. It's going to be a matchup, man. They want to see a rematch of the what? So that'll be round 32. Round 32. We might meet Villanova in the Elite 8. We might meet them in the Elite 8. They trying to see rematches from last year. A lot of these teams from last year, rematches from last year. I think it'll be us and Villanova in the Elite 8. If Long Beach State doesn't pull an upset over Villanova, because Villanova has known to fall to a few upsets in the NCAA tournament. You got Cincinnati at number 6, Florida at 4, Virginia at 5, Gonzaga at 7. Watch for them too. West Virginia got a number 2 seed, But see, the thing about this, I don't understand. West Virginia gets the number 2 seed over us, 25-6. We're 32-1. But like I've been saying all season, it's the conference win. We're not playing no good schools. We're not playing no big schools, but we do play big schools and good schools in the beginning of our schedule, and we beat them teams. And we beat them teams. And we're beating them teams by a very huge margin. That should say a lot to the NCAA committee, but I don't see why it doesn't, but it's all good. I got VCU making another run at the championship. That's how it is, but let's go to the next bracket.
Now let's take a look at the 16 teams in the East region.
Some of the most exciting games are in the 8 seed versus the 9 seed. It's usually between 2 evenly matched teams. I can't wait to see this region's 8-9 matchup.
Okay, so look at the first game. Number 1 versus 16. Kentucky versus Arizona State University. I told you they might sneak in. They might. But there's a lot of teams I would have took over Arizona State. But it's cool, though. Vanderbilt is in there. Stanford. Ole Miss, Minnesota. San Diego State University. Purdue at the number 3 spot at 24-7. Georgia Tech got in at 26-6 at the number 2 seed. I believe a lot of these seeds are teams are overseeded, seeded too high, and I believe some of these teams are seeded too low. But the NCAA committee will never fix that, because why? They set these teams up to play each other because these are the matchups they want to play, not the matchups that the fans would like to see. Oh shit! I think that the NCAA committee should start bracketing the seeds to what they think the fans might see, not to what they think will be a good matchup. Because like a lot of these matchups they put together really don't be a good matchup in the NCAA tournament. I understand you have your RPI, your strength of schedule, your win-loss streak, your conference championships, and so on. But I feel that some of these guys that won the conference championship, they don't even make it out of the first round. Some of these teams that win their conference championship, they don't even make it out the first round. So I'm like, what the hell is going on with the NCAA committee? But it doesn't matter, because why? That's their job to do, and I guess we'll get some exciting basketball this season. But let's move on to the next bracket if we can.
Only 16 teams left, and here they are, the South region.
A lot of good teams here, Gus. The greatest 3 weeks in sports. March Madness. The parity amongst the schools gets greater and greater each and every year.
Now, Louisville is sitting in there waiting on the playing game at the number 1 seed, 28-4. I told you it's going to be either us and Kansas or us and Louisville in the NCAA championship. If Alabama doesn't walk through it, because they sitting in at the number 2 seed in the South region at 28-4, and you got Alabama, Birmingham in there, and that MSU might be Murray State or Michigan State. Don't know. You got UConn at the number 4 spot, Georgetown at the number 5 spot. Man, you got a lot of good teams in there, and I feel that somebody's gonna be heartbroken and upset by the end of the season. But my question is, who is it? You know what I'm saying? Because the damn sure ain't gonna be us, VCU. Even though we got that 1 loss on our record, I see us walking through the tournament. Why? We proved that we could beat the big teams. We proved we could beat the good schools. Look at all our wins: Texas, Indiana, Purdue, Illinois, North Carolina, Kentucky, Villanova, and that's just 7 schools to name. Maryland, can't forget Maryland. We just beat Maryland in our home opener. Well, in our season opener this season, this past season. You know what I'm saying? So don't count us out. Don't give us the boo just yet. Don't call the Sandman up on stage to tap his feet and pull us with the cane. Because let me tell you, we just might come out there with another Cinderella. We might just come out with another slipper on our foot this year. But we're not going to let that get us hyped. I know VCU is hearing all this, and all these other schools are hearing this, and they're going to use this as fuel to their fire to come out there and beat VCU, to beat VCU. Because let me tell you, they were picked to be the team to beat. They were predicted to be the team to beat this year to win that conference championship and to win the whole NCAA tournament. So we just going to see how they going to come out there, what type of style of basketball, because VCU is known for switching up the style of play. They either can run up-tempo, half-court, or balance, or they run all that together. Now, let me tell you, if any of these teams that VCU get out on the break on these guys, get a 10-point, 11, 12-point advantage on these guys, let me tell you something. Because once they see that they got that marginal lead on you, man, they're gonna put their foot on the neck, they're gonna put their foot on your neck, foot on the gas, and they're gonna keep it going, and you're gonna be heartbroken at the end of the tournament. Let me tell you, NCAA tournament, just like your conference championships, it is one and done. So you have one chance, one shot. That kid Darnell Mason Jr., point guard for VCU, you got one shot, one chance to stop that kid, along with Royale Walker, Jaleel Ball, Christian Carter, Ray Owens, he can hit the shot. I'm telling you, got one shot to stop these guys. But because if you don't, I'm telling you, they will be hoisting that national championship again. Darnell Mason Jr. will be walking back to that campus in Richmond with another ring on his finger again. They will be having another championship ceremony at the beginning of their season next season if he stays for another season. Again, trust and believe. But I ain't trying to talk too much or whatever, because you know the NCAA tournament is next. So let's get on to that. Get on to the next.
As usual, Bill, the teams from the power conferences are well represented.
In terms of bids, look for them to lead the way. This year is obviously no exception.
Okay, now this is what I was saying about VCU, right? The Big East, 8 teams. ACC, 7 teams. Big 10, 6. SEC, 6. Big 12, 5. Pac-10, 4. Atlantic 10, 2. Horizon League, 2. And other conferences, 25. So that's about your 32 right there, the first ones. Well, that's 31. My apologies. No. 41. I apologize. Okay, so you got 41 big teams that make it to the NCAA tournament. And the other are the small schools. Let me tell you. Put VCU in any one of those. Well, let's go to the top. 1 through 5. Put VCU in any one of those conferences. 1 through 5. Up top, they gonna walk through. You can put them in Atlantic 10, Horizon League. They gonna walk through, man. Let me tell you, NCAA committee. Before this tournament is over, I want you to sit and watch the tournament. And please watch how these boys play. They play like a Duke, like a Maryland, like a Georgetown, like a Villanova, like a Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? They play like the big schools. They put up numbers like the big schools. They have guys like the big schools. Yeah, you saw early in the championship game that they said Darnell Mason could be a lottery pick. Let me tell you, I think he should go number 1 overall from the draft when he go pro. If he does go pro after his sophomore season, because you want to know why? He's going to be the only guy in the NBA when he walks in there with experience, with championship experience at playing ball and experience at learning how to play pro ball. A lot of these guys skip high school. Well, not skip high school, but skip college, go right to the G League or the pro. But I feel that if you go to college, you have a lot of coaches that used to coach in the pro, were assistants or whatever, trainers or whatever, and they coach in the NCAA now, and they'll take you to the side, sit you down, and see how special you are, and they'll show you how the pros do it. Let me tell you, Darnell Mason is doing some Michael Jordan type stuff. I was gonna say the other word, but you notice I ain't cussed throughout this whole stream right here, and I congratulate myself. But he's on some Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant type stuff. He put up 49 points in the CAA championship game. That boy is gonna knock something down, and he shoots 50, 40, 90 on the season, I think. Don't get me twisted, but he's close to it. He can do it. You know what I'm saying? He's a great shooter, great scorer. I think he should limit some of his baskets or some of his passes that he make to keep his shooting percentage high and to limit his turnovers. But overall, once he get that over, he's gonna be a tremendous talent in the NBA, man. He's 6'5", 180. Needs to get a little bit more frame on his body, but let me tell you, once he do, man, that boy is going to be something to reckon with. Trust and believe that. But, like I said last segment, I ain't going to try to hold y'all too long. Let's go to the last part of the NCAA tournament.
Here are my predictions based on all that has unfolded this evening. Maybe you're surprised like I am when it comes to teams that are not in the tournament. However, pay particular attention to my team to beat. How about that for a prediction?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed the NCAA Tournament Selection Show on CBS. For Mr. Bill Raftery, I'm Gus Johnson saying so long.
Okay, one more thing before we leave. You see who's missing in action? Wichita State, Rice, Arkansas, Iowa, and Pepperdine. They had great, I ain't gonna say great, they had good records, but just not good. Their RPI just wasn't good enough to make it into the NCAA tournament. But hopefully, I can see them guys there next year. They work hard to build off the success that they have in the back end of the season. Going into the back end of the season. Far less success, try to win the NIT championship or whatever's after the NCAA championship, whatever's after the season. But if you don't, there's always next year. Excuse me. Possible sleepers: Utah State, New Mexico, Gonzaga, Clemson. These teams are possible sleepers. Now, if they picking these teams over VCU to make some noise, I'm going to just say this. Dunbar Jackson, Darnell Mason, and VCU, look out for these teams. Do not take these teams lightly, because I'm telling you, they can walk all over you, especially Gonzaga. They got a hell of a record. I think they're standing at 27-5 or 27-4 or something like that. One and done, Georgetown, North Carolina, Illinois. Let me tell you, they don't have enough good wins. Well, yeah, they don't have enough good wins to show that they can win in the tournament. But they put them there because they feel that they have enough wins to be in the tournament. It's a big difference. If I don't beat the Kansases or the Kentuckys or the Memphises or whatever, then how can I say my team is good enough to win an NCAA championship, or at least win an NCAA tournament game? Feel me? Now we come down to the toughest bracket, the West region. I don't think it is. I believe that the tough bracket to beat is, again, the Midwest, because why? You got 3 top teams in that Midwest, and they coming to get it. VCU, Villanova, and I think it's Memphis, if I'm not mistaken. But the NIT, you got Rice, Arkansas, Fresno State, Auburn, Iowa State. Look at that 4th team, Auburn. I said it at the beginning of the show, at the beginning of the Selection Sunday show. These guys are gonna sneak in the NIT or the NCAA tournament, but it seems that they snuck in the NIT. I guess the NCAA committee felt that they didn't have enough good wins, strong wins, or collateral wins, if you want to call it, to get in the NCAA tournament. But let me tell you, a lot of these teams that they posting up not gonna win a championship in the tournament. I would say Wichita State is the only team out of this tip sheet that has a chance to win an NCAA championship. Now, we can see Wichita State and VCU in the championship. That'll be a hell of a rumble. That'll be a hell of a rumble, man. Let me tell you, I would go to that game, but if I couldn't, I would sit back on my couch with a whole lot of popcorn, pizza, and everything, and watch the game, or at least try to get on the broadcasting team for that game to broadcast that game. But like I said, they picking Kansas to be the team to beat. Don't forget, NCAA committee, Kansas fell to who again last year? VCU in the national championship. But I said it early. Kansas, the NCAA committee, they're looking to have a rematch of the NCAA championship. They know VCU is going to get there. They know VCU is going to reach the Final Four. They know VCU they're going to reach the NCAA tournament. So I applaud the NCAA committee for making that, because just to think about it all as I ran it all down, I feel that these matchups, they're where they need to be. Why? To put people in positions to get to VCU. I believe that Kansas or VCU or Louisville are the 3 teams to beat. Those are my 3 teams to beat. Those are my best possible teams. And my sleeper is Wichita State, and that's who I'm going with. But my pick for the NCAA, my Final Four pick is Kansas, Louisville, Wichita State, and VCU. That's my Final Four: Kansas, Wichita State, Louisville, VCU. In that order: Kansas, Wichita State, Louisville, VCU. In that order. That is my pick. And let me tell you, I picked VCU to win it all. In the championship game, I got I can only pick one. I can only pick one. So if I could pick one, I would say VCU. It's a rematch. VCU and Kansas. But if I could possibly get a second opinion, I would say VCU and Wichita State. But I ain't trying to hold you guys up because I know you want to see some NCAA tournament basketball. So I'm going to let you guys go. Go get your popcorn, go get your pizza, your hot wings, your tater tots, your tater skins, whatever you eat to enjoy your game, your nachos or whatever. Because let me tell you, it's going to be a hell of a game this first round. And this first game coming up next, it's VCU and Lipscomb. So I'll see you guys at that game next. So peace and love. I can't forget that. Enjoy the tournament, and I'll see you guys with the report when the tournament is finished. It's concluded. Thank you. Love y'all, man. Y'all enjoy the game. Well, y'all enjoy the tournament. The whole entire tournament. Peace.